live. We're there for you. ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
Welcome to ABC4 News at 10. I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here tonight. Disappointment, frustration, and anger. The mother of one of the victims in the Hunter High fatal shooting says the justice system let her and her community down once again. Today, dozens coming together to protest a plea deal where the 15-year-old shooter was sentenced to 6 years in juvenile detention. ABC4's Courtney Johns joining us live outside of the Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office to explain what goes into determining how much time a minor can spend behind bars. Courtney?
Emily, this is where families gathered to protest today, saying 6 years is not enough. But this is the maximum sentence this minor could have gotten being convicted in juvenile court.
Whatever I felt from the beginning when my son died is exactly what took place almost a year later.
Paul Tai's mother, Lapa Tai, says she forgives the teen who shot and killed her son and 14-year-old Tavani Lopati. But she says the justice system continues to let her family down.
Everybody else there that's been affected by a judicial system that continues to pick and choose when they want to be in the forefront or when they want to help us.
The now 15-year-old shooter pleading guilty in a juvenile court to 2 counts of manslaughter. He will remain in a juvenile detention center until he turns 21.
Juvenile justice has changed quite a bit in the last few years.
Michelle Jeffs works for the Department of Criminal Justice at Weber State University. She says in Utah, if a minor is convicted as a juvenile, they cannot remain in custody beyond their 21st birthday. And it's extremely difficult for them to be tried as an adult.
I would say is that it needs to be in the best interest of the minor and of the public to make that decision. And in deciding that, the judge considers 5 things.
1, the seriousness of the offense. 2, criminal history. 3, the minor's mental, physical, and educational background. 4, can they be rehabilitated? And lastly, does the minor need to remain behind bars beyond the age of 21?
It's really hard to prove that it's in the best interest of the minor to go to prison.
Lapa Tai says this is about so much more than her son.
It's justice for all. Everybody that's been impacted by a judicial system that continues to fail us, that's what I'm here for.
While in this case, the judge had to decide whether or not that shooter would be tried as an adult, minors 16 and older who are charged with murder are automatically tried as adults. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Courtney Johns, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Courtney. Turning now to a first look at the weather forecast, and we have a little break in between storms.
Yes, much more to come. Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy joining us now with the latest. Hey, Alana.
Hi, friends. A short break, but it ends early tomorrow morning as our next system takes aim at the Beehive State. We're starting with a frosty start in Kanab. When do you get to see that red rock and frost? Thank you to Judy for sending that our way. Temperatures cold. We had a system that dropped off some measurable moisture. Those were some of the storm totals from that quick-moving system into the early morning hours. 4 inches at daybreak, backside of the Wasatch picked up snow. So did Alpine, Sandy, 1.7 at the airport, and the northern Wasatch Front. Now taking a look at our next system could pick up additional snowfall. It's cold in Logan at 15 degrees, 20s in Ogden, freezing in Salt Lake, low 20s in Provo, and upper 30s down there in St. George. Satellite radar shows that high pressure that wanted to set up, but tonight that cloud cover increasing, spreading into the northern and central portion of the state ahead of our next cold front that's going to sweep through as we head into tomorrow morning. We do anticipate some commute challenges, and that's where we're looking at road slush for the northern portion of the state. We've got a winter weather advisory. We're going to look at totals and expectations from this system and the one following coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Glenn, Emily, back to you.
Thank you, Alana. The Utah Highway Patrol releasing dash cam from a cruiser that was hit in Juab County yesterday. Take a look. You can see the trooper trying to pull back on to the interstate, and then he's sideswiped by that semi-truck. Fortunately, the trooper only suffering some bumps and bruises in that crash.
And I-15 back open in Draper tonight after being closed most of the day after an oil spill there. So take a look at this dash cam footage from a truck that was right by an oil tanker as it loses control and crashes. In all, 6 vehicles crashed near 146 South late last night. That tanker spilled 1,500 gallons of crude oil after it crashed, we're told. Amazingly, only minor injuries were reported. Now, we spoke with the driver who recorded this footage, and he says he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Tanker whips around onto my right. As he whips around, I made the comment, like, really, dude? Like, seriously? And then it wasn't even, I don't know, it just didn't even feel like a second. It was just, you hear this huge boom. He had plowed into a truck that I guess was broken down or sideways.
State troopers believe icy roads played a part in the crash. It's a reminder for all of us, of course, to slow down when weather like last night rolls in.
Police in northern Idaho releasing body cam footage in their attempt to find the person who killed 4 University of Idaho students. None of the people in the footage are suspects. They're all cleared, but the footage comes from the area where the murders took place. Police hoping people familiar with that area might be able to spot something that is out of place or just doesn't seem right. The 4 students were murdered nearly 1 month ago now. No suspect has been named and no motive has been released.
And an update tonight, the Idaho couple accused of killing 2 children and a woman now have a new trial date. Chad and Lori Daybell will head to trial together this coming April. The couple accused of killing Lori's 2 children and Chad's first wife. They appeared in court together for the first time since Lori was found competent to stand trial. East Idaho News reports the couple didn't even look at each other.
A man in custody tonight after a SWAT standoff in Tooele. Police say the man allegedly pointed a gun at 2 people. This was near Deer Hollow and Skyline Drive. Then they tell us he ran into his own home and fired off some 20 shots. Nobody was injured, but there was a heavy police presence in the neighborhood.
It was a multi-county jurisdictional effort able to resolve this peacefully.
4 agencies and SWAT teams working together to bring the standoff to an end after hours on the scene.
Well, the family of a teenager nearly killed in a crash this weekend in Taylorsville is speaking out. They tell us 17-year-old Maddie Anderson was driving with her brother when a car smashed into them. Her passenger brother says he was looking at his phone and didn't see the crash, only heard his sister scream.
I jumped out of the car, ran over to her side, and she was hunched over, unconscious, and I saw a little bit of blood on her arm.
I was expecting to see her standing on the side of the road next to the car going, "Look at this, Dad, look what just happened." But when they were still cutting her out of the car, I really didn't think she was going to make it.
The family telling us that Maddie had several surgeries, but her family says she is improving every day. As for the man who hit her, Taylorsville police believe he was driving under the influence.
Governor Spencer Cox will release his full 2024 budget recommendation tomorrow, but he gave a small preview of what to expect today. The governor and Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson calling for a state tax cut of $1 billion. They're also calling for a raise for all teachers. Under the proposal, they would see a $4,600 salary boost.
We believe we can give the largest tax cut by far in our state's history, as well as the biggest funding increase for teachers in our state's history, and that will help families so much.
After the governor presents his full budget proposal, it will be up to the legislature to approve the final budget. Deer taking to the skies in Utah today. No joke.
Not a joke at all. It was all a part of the yearly checkup of the state's deer population. The Division of Wildlife Resources uses helicopters to catch the deer to check on them. Now, the agency says the helicopter makes it easier for them and it's easier on the animals. After capturing and running a number of tests, they're able to just let the deer go. Now, they place collars on the deer to track their migration habits. It also gives them a sense of how the environment is doing.
We can't just let the animals be out on the landscape and not know what's going on with them. You know, in order to help the habitat make it the best it can be for the animals, we need to have data to do that.
According to DWR, their initial data shows despite worries from the drought, the deer population actually doing quite well this year.
Coming up on ABC4 News at 10, after nearly a full year behind bars in Russia, an American pro basketball player is free. What the United States had to give up in exchange and why it's not sitting well with everyone.
And still ahead, students' grades are suffering in the aftermath of the pandemic. Hear what some parents are turning to in an attempt to get their kids back on track.
Plus, there's that live look from the Colonial Flag Tower camera here at the ABC4 studios. It's freezing in Salt Lake. Dry conditions out there right now. But that is about to change. We've got the timing on a quick system and another larger one taking aim at your weekend in Utah's most accurate forecast.